This episode of Test Drive is made possible by RateMyEV.com. It's undeniable that South Korea is one of the leading countries when it comes to the electrification of the automobile. And I'm not just talking about fully electric vehicles like this 2025 Kia EV9 Land all-wheel drive, but I'm talking in general about how electrification is helping shift the industry forward. You see, the Hyundai Motor Group, which consists of Kia, Hyundai, and Genesis, they decided not to put all of their eggs in one basket and go for fully electric vehicles only. They decided to spread out their R&D across pretty much all forms of electrification. We have fully electric vehicles, plug-in hybrids, regular hybrids, and then even hydrogen vehicles, which we don't really get up here in Ontario, but it's still important to talk about. So I'm going to be going over what you need to know if you're in the market for a mid-size 3-row electric SUV such as this, everything about it, and why Hyundai, Kia, and Genesis really are on top when it comes to the electrification of the automobile. Now, you might have noticed there was no US pricing for this vehicle in our lower third. Well, that's because this exact configuration doesn't exist south of the border. This Land all-wheel drive with the Plus package is kind of a Land all-wheel drive in the US, but actually it starts off more as a Wind. There's another package above this here in Canada which really gives you all the features that the Land has in the USA. And then if you were to try to configure a Wind, which this more or less is, they don't come in this pink color. For that trim in the US, it's about $63,000 plus delivery. Ours starts at about $70,000 Canadian, and as tested, $72,395 Canadian. Now, under the hood, you're obviously not getting any engines in here because it's an electric vehicle, but the power output of the twin motor setup, 379 horsepower, 516 pound-feet of torque. That has a 99.8 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion battery, good for about 451 kilometers of fully electric driving. Now, in lieu of having an engine in the front, we do have a front storage area. There's quite a bit of space to be able to put the basic things that you don't really want to have rolling around in your trunk, such as your EV or in my case, I've also got a bottle of washer fluid. There's more room in there should you want to put some other things in there, but for the most part, it works well. And the fact that you can access it from the key fob does make it a little bit more functional than other front storage areas that we've seen before. Now, a lot of people think of the EV9 as the electric Telluride, and you'd pretty much be right. It is about the same dimensions. It is boxy, fridge-like, and you can fit 3 rows of passengers in this vehicle. With our Plus package, we get 20-inch alloy rims, the small cube LED headlights, which distinguish it from the lower trim models, dual sunroof, digital lighting grille, the deluxe coated interior door handles. The other major difference between this and the GT line that we drove, aside from the exterior design being a little bit different, we don't have the captain's chairs on here. So this actually might be a little bit more functional for families because you are getting 2 seats up front, 3 in the middle, and then 2 in the back. Thinking about the actual design of the vehicle, as I said, it is kind of fridge-like. It really is squared off, very sharp edges, but it looks really good. And I think it is one of the best-looking consumer electric vehicles on the market today and extremely functional. When it comes to safety technology, most of what you would expect, and especially at this price point, is here. We do have things like adaptive cruise control, blind spot monitoring, lane keep assist. There's a backup camera, but you do not get the 360 cameras. That requires the higher trim in order to get that. A couple other things that you miss out on would be a head-up display, the digital rear view mirror, the leg extensions for the front seats, which were very comfortable, but not something that you necessarily need. And then the digital lighting grille has different light up elements. So if you are getting the GT line, you can customize which ones you have. And we show that off in the video that we did last year on the GT line. The interior of the Kia EV9 is a pleasant place to be, and I'm sitting in the second row here. I'm about 6 foot tall, and I have no issues when it comes to the overall headroom. Space is good, plenty of legroom, and I can even push the seat in front of me away with the push of a button on the side. The seats here can slide forward and back as well as recline, which is nice and comfortable, as well as a very firm armrest to be able to use with cup holders, as well as cup holders in the front. Features we miss out on being on these Plus trim, we don't have heated or ventilated seats back here. I think the heated portion is a big miss. That's something that you're going to want to have, especially here in Canada. Would have been nice to see, especially considering a lot of entry-level vehicles offer that. We should have that on a vehicle that is north of $70,000. Aside from that, the third row is functional, not going to be for somebody like me, but other adults should be able to fit back there. Mostly going to be for kids, but I do keep the seats flat for the most part and just have much more cargo space. When it comes to the front seating area, the seats again extremely comfortable. Headrests are nice. Even the headliner is a very soft material. Heated and ventilated seats up front with a heated steering wheel. There's no memory options on this trim. And then the dual screen setup looks very nice with the center portion being dedicated for your HVAC controls. Again, you're getting all the features that you would really want at this price point, just missing out on the 360 camera, which you can certainly live without. But wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are great things to have on this vehicle, as well as all the other EV-related things that we like to see. However, I think it's time that we take this vehicle on the road, talk about how the 2025 Kia EV9 is, and everything else you need to know if you're in the market for a large three-row electric vehicle. All right, my friends, we're on the road in the 2025 Kia EV9. This, again, a land all-wheel drive, more of a wind in the US. Let's talk about energy efficiency. We completed our 100-kilometer test loop in eco mode, 25 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. We compare it back to the EV9 GT line that we drove almost exactly a year ago. That completed it in 23.4 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. So this was less efficient. Why? Well, we've had a monumentally brutal winter, and it's still winter. I mean, it was snowing as of 2 days ago here, and we haven't seen temperatures above currently 8 degrees. This is the warmest it's been all week. So we've had ice, we've had snow, we've had negative temperatures. It was like minus 10 the other day. So yeah, I understand why the energy efficiency wasn't as good, but that kind of gives you an idea of how it is in colder temperatures. You know, as I mentioned, the range is supposed to be about 450 kilometers. I'm seeing about 400, and that lines up with our energy efficiency number. But for the most part, because it's colder out, we're seeing less. So kind of expected. Would have been nice if I had this in the summer, just to be able to see how that would go. But for the most part, it's been what I expect. Now, when it comes to a vehicle like this, we always talk about how I'm not here to really convince you to buy an electric vehicle if you're not already in the market for one. This video is more for those who are already shopping for an EV and want to understand why this one might be the choice for you. And the thing is, there's not lots of choice when it comes to a three-row SUV in this space so far. Essentially, you've got a number of options that you can count on one hand. The Ioniq 9 from Hyundai was just announced. It's not even available as of filming it yet. It's going to be based on the same basic format as this, so expect similar power numbers and range and all that and space. So, that'll be something coming soon. And just like things like the Ioniq 5, sort of the sister vehicle to the EV6, that's how you will look at that. Other vehicles, Rivian R1S, not a bad option. The thing is, though, when it comes to Rivian, they're a little bit more specialized, especially here in southwestern Ontario. There aren't really Rivian dealers that you can take one to. I couldn't tell you where the closest one was. I would imagine it would be somewhere in Toronto. So getting it serviced might be a little bit harder, whereas something like this, you can take it anywhere. Other option, Cadillac Escalade IQ. If you've got enough money to buy a house, you could buy that. Starts at about, $170,000 Canadian? And then you can get them up to the $200,000 price point pretty quickly. So that's not going to be for everybody, especially considering this is $72,000. You can buy 3 of these for the price of a very well-equipped Escalade IQ. And then Tesla Model X. I don't know. I don't like Tesla. So when it comes to options, right? Pretty limited. If you need space, you want a vehicle that you can put your family in, everybody's comfortable, then this is a really good option. A couple things that I found as I've been driving along with this, because I liked it last time, I still like it even without all the extra bells and whistles, but it's super quiet. Like, it's really, really quiet on the road. The ride is super smooth as well. And that's one thing that you're really going to appreciate when you're driving this thing. It just is a really comfortable vehicle. It doesn't take a lot of stress out of you. It doesn't take strain. It's very easy to drive. And I like the seats. I mean, they're very comfortable. I like the headrests too. It's super, super plush. You kind of sink into it. It's almost like one of those really expensive office chairs. So I like it quite a bit. You've got all the features that you really would want out of this vehicle. I'm not missing anything. There's nothing that I'm missing for, the electric price point for this. Yeah, the heated seats in the back I think would have been nice. My daughter's complained a little bit about it, especially considering this week has been so cold. Should have been something that is optioned. It is something that should be standard on this vehicle, let alone on this price point. It should be there. So a little bit of a miss there, but aside from that, though, everything else has been great with it. Range has been good. Charging has been good. What I like about this is it costs me less than $8 to get this fully charged up. My off-peak charging is 7.6 cents per kilowatt hour, so it is essentially $7.60 to charge this thing fully at home. And because, I've got a level 2, I can charge 7.2 kilowatts. It'll get it done overnight. And I don't really do a lot of driving. I mean, I'm mostly in town. So that's why I like electrics. I really do enjoy driving these vehicles because I pick them up, I drive 175 kilometers to get here, and that's more or less the furthest I go. And those never give me any issues. I get here, I'm in town. I don't even charge this thing during the week. So I only charge it on the weekend when I have to, but all the EV stuff I want is on this vehicle. Scheduling, preconditioning, driver-only HVAC settings. I mean, the only real major complaint I have about this is something that is just something that the Koreans do not do, and it's a safety thing. We're going to be talking about it more. I like to bring it up when I can, but when the wiper blades are on, the headlights should come on too. It doesn't do that. It's only if it's dark enough out, they will come on. A lot of brands are doing that because it is more of a safety thing. If you're driving and there's rain, you should have your headlights on. The car, it's smart enough to know if the wipers are on, the headlights should go on. It's an if statement. If wipers on, then headlights on. That's it. So make it happen, because it's a small safety thing that I will die on in terms of the hill, because I think it's really important. And, if you've been somebody like me who drives a lot and you're driving in a bad rainstorm, you're going to see a ton of idiots driving around with no headlights. It makes it a whole lot harder for you to see them. That's how accidents happen. So my message to the Koreans, come on, make it happen. It should be very easy to program. But aside from that, I have enjoyed my week with the Kia EV9. There's no real change. Couple paint options for 2025. So it's still the same great car that we liked last year, just this time a different color and different trim to give us a little bit more of a taste of what the entire EV9 lineup has to offer. Now, we always like to end off these videos by letting you get involved, right? We want you to comment below and let us know what you think. But if you have an EV9, or if you're in the market to buy a vehicle like the Kia EV9 here, or any electric vehicle, then I recommend checking out ratemyev.com. They're the video sponsor for this episode, and they have a plethora of reviews from owners on vehicles like the Kia EV9 and every other electric vehicle on the market here. So you can check it out, you can see what real people think and how they have enjoyed, or maybe not enjoyed, their vehicles over the course of ownership. So you can check out ratemyev.com and see more detailed reviews about the vehicle you're shopping for, and I hope you do. Just like you are for any other vehicle, you should do a lot of research beforehand, and it's a great resource to be able to find owner-based reviews. So check them out, and thank you for sponsoring this video, but we do encourage you to get it to us also in the comments. If you haven't subscribed to our beautiful channel here, we highly recommend doing so. That way you won't miss out on anything that's coming up in the near future, and we will be doing a lot more content, not just electric stuff, but everything. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, like the video, share it online, and until next time, we appreciate you watching, and take care.